D Rich and Juice. We got a special guest on the show today, man. First of all, before we get started, if you're watching on YouTube, smash that like button right now. Help us in the algorithm. Subscribe. If y'all want dope content like this, we're gonna bring y'all the best players. You gotta smash the like button, man, because nobody's gonna give y'all content like we about to give y'all. We got one of the most underrated players in the country. Juice, love him. I mean, absolutely loved him.
All
Some
right,
Trey
chill, bro,
Green.
chill,
You know
chill.
what I mean? So, I'm just telling you, man. He's one of our favorite players, man. Can do it all. Peace Jam champion, Trey Green. Welcome to the show, man. How you feeling today, man?
Man, I appreciate y'all. I'm feeling good though. Just trying to soak everything in that just happened at Peach, but I'm doing good.
How was that, man? Winning Peace Jam. Would you compare that to, like, I don't know if you ever won a state championship or a city championship. How would you compare that to that?
It was something different. Like just knowing that, everything you work for going into, because going into it, you about to play some top notch competition. So, leaving out, knowing that you put in your all and you came out on top feels great. Like it was something I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah. So how was it? Being one of the main reasons why your team kind of won and making winning plays, throughout the entire game. Can you kind of like speak on that?
Honestly, it was just about the flow of the game. I was just trusting my teammates, doing everything I need to do, in order to, get the dub in. My coach said this game especially is going to be a main focus on defense. So, I just dialed in on what he said and we got the job done.
What why didn't you start though? I was kind of confused on why didn't you start?
So going into Geico, I had an injury where I sprained my MCL. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but the first game of Geico, I was wearing a knee brace. So I had sprained my MCL, and then going into Orlando the following week, he kind of put me on reserve and everything like that because of my knee. Same thing with the second session. And so honestly, the team was just flowing, with the starters that were in. So he just kept it and ran with it. And I just came off the bench and gave a spark.
Yeah, man. I want to congratulate you for that because a lot of players wouldn't be too comfortable with that coming off the bench. But I definitely want to congratulate you on that.
Appreciate it.
Like I said, I mean, we want to get to know you a little bit more, outside of basketball. We're gonna touch on basketball definitely, and definitely a little bit more Peach Jam a little later. But you're originally from North Carolina.
Yep.
What was it growing up in the hoop state, North Carolina?
Different. Like growing up here is different. Like you get top notch competition every day. Like I feel like North Carolina has the top guards out of North Carolina. You know what I mean? You got Rob, Biz, you got Jalen Curry, Caleb Foster, Tremaine Parker. Like you got a lot of dogs that just grew up here, and we all played each other growing up. We had Kennard Davis. He was down here and everything. So just growing up with each other, it kind of made us better. So I feel like when we go out and play against other guys from different states and different cities and everything, it's different. Like because we just so set on how we played against each other. We go out there and compete.
So are you saying that North Carolina got the best hoopers? Is that what you're saying, man?
I'm saying I feel like we up there with the top guards. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna choose my words carefully, but I feel like we up there with the top guards for sure. We just got a low full of guards that can hoop and can show you different things.
See, like one thing I do notice too with like North Carolina guards, with everybody you mentioned, a lot of you guys like aren't the tallest hoopers. Like a lot of y'all are like 6'1", 6'2", 6'5", 11, and y'all are still able to make these crazy plays and be the best hoopers in the country. So it's like, what is different? Like, what are y'all doing out there, bro?
Man, it's just really like I said, just from playing each other. Like we always we always played against each other and just got better off of that. Probably the tallest one or the biggest one is Caleb Foster. He's at 6'4", 6'5", around there. So and can shoot the lights out the ball. So
So at an early age, how did you get introduced to the game of basketball?
My cousin, Darren Green, he's at Florida State right now. He plays basketball there. And growing up, I would just come home from school and, we'll just be in the park or we'll be in the driveway and we'll just get shots up hoop. And ever since then, like I just wanted, like I was just ready to come home and just hoop, ready to come home and just hoop. So from there on, I just knew it was something I wanted to run with.
And you were a two-sport athlete, as I remember.
Yeah.
You know, what made you like stick with basketball? Because I know you're pretty good at football too. Because I remember I was trying to get you to come to the D-Rich TV camp so damn bad, man. Like I wanted you to. I saw you at Under Armour in Atlanta, and that's the first time I saw you. And I had your dad's number. I was hitting him up. I was DMing you. I wanted you to come to Akron so bad, but you was playing football. I believe you were playing defensive back, and you told me you were pretty good at football. But eventually, you stuck with basketball. What made that decision happen?
When I went to my freshman year, I stepped away from basketball and played football, and that kind of made me miss basketball even more. And like going into my sophomore year, we had COVID year, and we kind of didn't know if football was going to be around. So that's when, you know, I just locked in and was just like, you know what, I'm gonna stick with basketball. I just love it more. Been playing it longer, and I feel like I'm just way better at it.
Yeah, but do you like, were you kind of like taking into effect, you know, your height and how you can succeed in the sport versus football? Because, you know, like I'm pretty sure like what position were you playing in football?
I was playing wide receiver and DB.
So that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people would say you probably have a better chance of making it to the league in that avenue. So like, what made you like? Were those things you were thinking about, like in the basketball sense too, being undersized?
Honestly, not really, because I've always been undersized. Like even when I was younger, I was the smallest one on the court. I was playing up, smallest one on the court. So that just kind of drove me to play it even more, just to prove them wrong. Honestly, like it was some coaches that were trying to recruit me for football, and you know I wasn't, well, not recruit me, but you know they were trying to talk me into, you know, coming to the school or whatever, and you know they were trying to say like football, you know you could take it longer, you know you can do more at it, this and the third, and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna just show you, like I'm finna just bust it up in basketball.
So no regrets, none
whatsoever.
Yeah, I like that.
You know, the funny thing about football and basketball, I always said, like, in some funny way, the two, if you see a receiver and they shifty, you know, that coming out that route, you know, when you come in basketball, I feel like it kind of translate to basketball.
It's all the hips, like at DB, I had to learn, like the footwork is crazy, like everybody gets shook. It's just bad. Like it's fun too though. Like them Friday night lights and stuff like that. That stuff is crazy. Bands, all that. Football's a different atmosphere, but you know, and like you said, and all, it got some of the same similarities.
Yeah, definitely. When we talk about AAU basketball, man, have you been playing AAU basketball since you were a youngin? Since you were how old?
Yeah, I started playing in second grade, about 8 years old. That's when I started playing AAU like really heavily. And stuff like that. So yeah.
What would you say are some of like your earliest memories of AAU basketball, man? Because when you start off so young, the traveling and things like that, what's some of your earliest memories?
As far as like how AAU is in general?
Yeah, just AAU in general compared to like playing like people in the neighborhood.
Honestly, at an early age, ooh.
What was your first introduction, like when you went up against some smoke and you like, dang, like these dudes out here like really about that? You know what I mean? At what age do you think that was?
I say it was probably fifth grade year. Fifth grade year, yeah. Fifth grade year, they had the New York Gauchos out with Dylan Williams and all those guys, Maryland's Finest, and a bunch of those guys that could hoop. And it was, I forgot where we was at. I think we was in MIT or something like that. We was in Maryland. And those guys were just running us. Like, it was bad. Like, it was crazy. Going crazy. Layups. I mean, just going crazy on us. Making every shot. That was probably the turning point. I was like, you know, I need to lock in for real and hold in.
Were they dunking? Like,
they weren't dunking. They was going crazy, though. They was making every shot. You know, they was locking up. We couldn't do anything with their defense. So, you know, like they just wanted it more. So then that's what made me lock in.
Did you start off with like a mom and pop team? Like, you know, fifth grade, some people start off with like a small local team that maybe travel occasionally, or did you start off with like a Team Charlotte? I know Team Charlotte probably came along later, right?
Yeah, they did. I played with CBC Elite. So we had Jaden Bradley, we had Who else did we have? We had Caleb Foster. We had Jordan Marsh. Snoop. Who else did we have? We had a bunch of guys. We actually made it to the national championship that year and played pro skills. We played Bryce Griggs, and those guys, and we lost. But we was a pretty good team, solid team. We did what we needed to do, and it was fun.
Hey, yo, speaking of Bryce Griggs, talk about like back then, bro. He was nasty, bro.
He was crazy.
Good.
He was so crazy. He was doing stuff that early. It was like, bro, what? Like it was like he had a combo for everything. Like it was bad.
Yeah, like you could tell like that he was kind of advanced and in the gym.
Oh yeah,
ahead of everybody else, bro. Like 5th, 6th grade, bro. I mean, I was traveling. I'm like, man, he about that action for real.
He was crazy. He was the number 1 player in the nation that year. He was crazy though, and then he had the size too to go with it. You know what I mean? Like he was doing a lot of things a lot of us wasn't doing.
Were you like paying attention to like the middle school rankings back then, or not so often?
I was my 6th grade year, and then a little bit after that, probably going into my 7th. But after that, I kind of just stoned off away from it and just started working. Going into 6th grade year after that championship, I that was my first time being ranked. It was like I was like number 2 in the state or something like that, like top 3 in the state. And then from middle school on up, that's when they carried over.
So whenever you got that first ranking, like, was you lit or what?
Yeah,
like, number 2.
I mean, I was young, so like my dad, he didn't really like let me pay attention to it too much.
Yeah.
Like he wanted me to keep working and stuff like that. That's just how he is. And then but like me by myself alone, like I was really hyped about it because that was my first time being ranked. I didn't know how to take it or anything like that. But it was a fun time for me. But my dad didn't let me hang on to it too long.
So you think like, do you think people should like players should get ranked that young? Because sometimes it could mess up people's like mentality towards the game. They think they the best player, this and that, and they kind of slack off. You think like when do you think they should really start, ranking it like these athletes?
I say honestly, high school, like freshman year, just because when they're that young, they're still raw. Like there's no peak, there's no anything. Like they can still get better, this and the third. And I mean, yeah, it drives, it motivates, but at the same time, like that takes a toll on kids too mentally. Like that can be the deciding factor of somebody, taken away from the game, like not playing basketball anymore or something. But you just never know. Some kids take it differently. But I feel like it's all a mental thing. Like if somebody sees that and they dropped in a ranking or this and the third, us high schoolers can take it better than a young kid like in middle school or something like that. You know what I mean? So we'll just take it differently and we'll just hold on to it.
So how do you personally kind of look at it? Like, do you look at it just as a number? Do you look at it like, oh, I'm doing something right? Like they see that I'm improving in these areas. Like, how do you kind of look at that number?
Honestly, I pay attention to it, but at the end of the day, I look at it as a number, like you said. At the end of the day, we all gonna play against each other. We all gotta match up and see, what we really about. So I mean, until then, that's when it's really proven. So
because me and D-Rich, like we're always arguing, like rankings don't matter. Does this ranking matter? Like D-Rich, like come on, bro. I think rankings don't matter because like he's not like you're not like a top 30 player, but you still have all these offers from all these schools. You can get school paid for. That's what I'm saying. Like it really doesn't matter, bro.
see, my counter argument to that is that they don't matter, but if they don't matter, why do we pay attention to them? We pay attention to them because it gives us something to go see a player and say, he's not the real deal. He shouldn't be ranked that high. Or in the case of a player like you, who I definitely believe you are better than some of those players that are ranked above you. And I'm not gonna come in here and give no names because, like I said, y'all youth players, so a player might take that the wrong way. But you definitely should be ranked higher. But it gives us a gauge to go off of. But when we talk about rankings, and definitely middle school, you don't got to give no names, but about how many players have you saw fall off that are no longer even playing a game of basketball?
that is true. That's also again why like I feel like at a young age it really doesn't matter because like I said, everybody's still going to work. Everybody still has room to grow, even the player that is higher. So like just I don't think I don't see it too highly on, looking at rankings at a young age. Now here at this age, yeah, like you said, like that gives a good evaluation point. You know what I mean? Like if he really about that, or like if he should be higher. But then again, like me personally, like I said, I just use it as a number and then just keep rolling with it.
Because I've been an advocate, bro. Like I've
Right.
been trying to tell people, like, oh, like this dude, like he's really like, because I've seen you outplay, like you said, guys that are ranked way above you. I've seen you perform in high level games and like making winning plays and impact. So just keep doing what you're doing, bro.
Nah,
Like
for sure.
we see it, man.
So, so growing up, did your father take you everywhere, like as far as traveling wise?
Yeah. My dad was like my dad and my coach. He took me to practice, workouts. We'll be at the gym as early as like 6 before school. And school didn't start till like 8. So he was my trainer, my dad, everything.
So talk about how important it is to have a father, that's active, because in this game of basketball, man, we got things that we call people. I don't like the word handler, but some people aren't lucky enough to have a father or parents in general, and they got people that come into their lives and they guide them in certain directions. But just talk about how important it is to have a father there to help you, throughout this process.
For sure. Nah, I feel like I'm on the fortunate end of that, just because I have a father who's been through that process. Because he was an athlete and played at the college level and stuff like that. So I feel like it's very important, just so you know who really has your best interest. Like there's a lot of people out here that don't really have your best interest. They just want to look out for themselves, and it's kind of hard to pick those people out. It's just really been put into certain situations and having those conversations. But there are people out here that are out to or that are not out here for your best interest. And like with me, I know my dad has my best interest because, one, he's been through it, and two, he's just been a part of this journey with me, like since I was young.
Yeah, man. Like the parent aspect is very important,
For
man.
sure.
Because sometimes you don't have a parent, and like you said, these people want to make money off of your name, bro. So people really sell players to schools like this go on, like bidding like to high schools or prep
to benefit
schools.
themselves, like, and that's what I was saying. Like, it's crazy because like I had a teammate on my team that has experienced that, and it's not good. Like, it takes a toll on people mentally. Like, the love for the game. It's like, why am I doing this then? Like, it took a toll on him badly. Just seeing him, be down on himself and not really, fully take advantage of the game. But that it does take a toll on people for sure.
How often do you guys, man? Because it's a pretty tough world out here for me being an adult. So I can only imagine what it's like, being a kid with today's social media. Have you ever talked to a kid? You don't got to give no names, or somebody that's maybe a big time player and maybe they're not really happy with where they at, but I mean, they get recruited and all this stuff, and everything seemed good on the outside, but when they talk to you, maybe things not going as good.
Well, as far as you saying, like mentally or
mentally,
Yeah, for sure. I had plenty of conversations like that. Because with me, my recruitment process started late, so I was seeing all these other guys get these offers and everything like that, and it took a toll on me mentally. Like, I was wondering, like, like I played against these guys, like, you feel me? Like, it was crazy to me, but then again, I couldn't pay too much attention to it. And what I try to tell people is, just stay down, stay level, and just keep working. Your time is going to come. This is not a sprint, it's a marathon. So a lot of your stuff may come later than other people, but that's okay. Like, you just got to keep working and keep grinding and stay the course.
So was there like a specific game to where like you kind of seen a switch and like kind of how colleges were kind of reaching out to you? Like what specific moment kind of sparked that?
It wasn't a game. I'm gonna tell you, it was a practice. It was our first week of practice at Link Academy, and a lot of coaches were out there looking at their guys and everything. We was getting up and down, and I was feeling great. Like, that practice was my best practice, I say, in high school. Like I was going. I mean, everything was clicking for me, and I feel like that was the turning point where it was like coaches kind of woke up and paid attention to me during the season. Kind of put their punch in early with my recruitment.
Now, with high school, you've been to a few different high schools. Vance,
Lake Norman, and then Link Academy.
Now, with each year, with Vance, talk about your freshman year. Talk about what that was like going from 8th grade to high school basketball.
It was an adjustment, honestly, but I feel like especially coming from the football field also, because I wasn't doing a lot of basketball workouts and everything like that with the team, because I had to stay with football. So adjusting to that was a process, but everything, I feel like this game is more mental than physical, honestly. Like, just, like staying the course with everything. It was an adjustment for sure, but I feel like I held my own my freshman year. It was a good freshman year for me.
Lake Norman, I mean,
yeah.
I know it was crazy. The traveling. I mean, what was up with that, man? That whole situation.
That honestly was, that was fun. That was fun. Like adjusting to that national schedule was something that I knew I had to do going into that sophomore year. I knew we were going to play the Sunrise and the Palos and everything like that. But once I played my first game, I think we were in Arizona, and that was our first time being on TV. I was kind of nervous. I remember that game, but I ended up with like 19 and 6 assists or something like that. And then from there on, I was just like, it ain't too bad. It ain't as bad as I thought. And I just took it from there and ran with it.
You said that was the game y'all played, Oak Hill?
It was not. I think it was a Geico preseason tournament. We played Minnehaha. We played some other schools. We was out in Arizona. That was the first time we was on TV. But it was like preseason almost. So
I see. So can you kind of elaborate on so how did that whole Lake Norman program come about? Because I feel like a lot of people don't really understand. Like, how did that come about?
So they were a school before. They weren't on the national schedule or anything like that. But they had during the COVID year or during COVID and everything, they were having like workouts and stuff like that. So guys can get in the gym, get some runs in, and then they'll take that time and, pick their choose of, who they want to try to get into school and everything like that. I went for a run, telling me some guys were coming along and I was with it. So we all came together and we just took it from there. And Mike being there helped get us on a national schedule. So it played in our favor.
Now, speaking of Mikey, man, one thing that I noticed is that whenever he has a teammate on his team, he always makes sure that they get shine too. And that goes from whether, tagging you in photos, videos, helping grow your following also. You know what I mean? Because some players they stingy with it. You know what I mean? But he one of those people who want to see you eat also, man. Can you talk about how unselfish he is as far as when it comes to that?
Mike is cool, dude. Like, that's one guy, like, he, when you first meet him and everything, he got a little chill about him, and that's normal with a guy that young, that has the platform that he has. But once you get to know him, cool as all can be. Like, you can have he's real down to earth, you know what I mean? Have genuine conversations with him, funny, you know what I mean? You can laugh with him. He real cool, real chill. A lot of people don't see that about him. And, that's okay, because sometimes he doesn't know. Like, he really has a situation on his hands where it's like he got to pick and choose, who he wants to be cool with. Because there's people out here that are out to get him and people out here that don't have his best interest, and he knows that. So, sometimes he has to put on a face, but deep inside, he's a real cool guy. Like, I got to know him real good. He's chill, cool, funny, someone you can laugh with, talk to when you got a problem. And he's real cool with his guys.
How did you meet him? Did he recruit you to come to Lake Norman, or how did?
So we were already cool because his cousin that lives in North Carolina, me and him are real cool, named Devin McCain. We grew up together, played basketball with each other. So I kind of knew Mike beforehand, because of Devin. and everything like that. So once he found out that Lake Norman Christian was an option for me, we started talking, chopping it up and everything. And then that's when we decided to make the move because we kind of knew each other beforehand through Devin because he stayed here.
Mm-hmm.
So then you decide to you turned it up a notch because Link Academy, from what I hear, it's the real deal. They do yoga. Okay. I heard it gets you ready for college. I heard it's a step up.
Oh, yeah.
So going from that, I know for sure it was a step up from Vance and Lake Norman.
100%.
Just talk about Link Academy because they're trying to get my boy Darren Peterson, but I don't want him to leave Ohio. I don't want him to. Don't do it, Darren.
Nah, Link Academy was definitely a turnaround year for me. That's when I knew I had to change my game. Going in there, I didn't know what to expect. Honestly, Coach Perry called me and said, one thing you can know or what you will know about is, we are going to work. And he meant it all. Like, we got up, 6 o'clock, wake up, weights. Then you got practice. You got your school. Then you come back, got your individual workouts. Then you got team practice again at night. Then you got to get your recovery in. So it was really like a college level schedule every single day with the traveling, the recovery that you need, the workouts, team workouts, skill development, everything like that. It all was there for you. And that's when I really changed my game from, a 2-guard and a point guard's body to a point guard with the help of, Coach Perry and everything like that and my teammates, of course.
So kind of like taking a step back on that, like what made you want to leave Lake Norman and go to Link Academy? Because like they're like on the YouTube where there's like rumors, like Mikey was ball hogging the ball and Trey wasn't happy, and then like what made you want to leave Lake Norman?
Honestly, it was more personal deals with my game. I knew going into my junior year that had to be a turnaround year, and what I was doing at Lake Norman Christian, just scoring the ball, everybody could do. You know what I mean? So I wasn't really defending. I wasn't showing that I could lead a team. I wasn't showing that, I could make winning plays. And I feel like where I was at Link, that helped put me in positions where people had to see it. They had to see me, be a true point guard, make point guard plays, make winning plays, control a team full of 4 or 5 stars. You know what I mean? So that was definitely a transition for me and helped my game grow to another level.
Because I know a lot of people would even say like it was. Hold on, could y'all still see me?
Yeah.
Like, because I know a lot of people would say like, oh, it's a mistake that you're leaving a guy like Mikey because you have that platform now and every game is like nationally televised or have a national schedule. So it's like, do you think it was a mistake or you made the right decision? Because I think you made the right decision personally.
For sure. I feel like I made the right decision for me. Honestly, me and Mike, we talked about it and everything. And he was cool with it. Like, he was like, you got to do what's best for you. You feel me? Like, he was like, you need to go. You feel like that's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. And that's one thing about him. Like, he's real. He's not going to tell me something to benefit, you know what I mean, to hold me down or anything like that. That's one person I can call and he's going to keep it real. The good, bad, and the ugly. So, it wasn't anything between me and him. Me and Mike still cool to this day. I call him. He called me. This and the third. We check in with each other. But it was just a move that I had to make to benefit my game. And I knew I had to make it.
All right, now we about 28 minutes in. Enough of the cookie cutter stuff. Juice, I'm about to turn up. They got you ranked. Rivals.com got you ranked 114 in the country. Okay? And when I watch basketball, I tune in. Ball is life, slam, all this stuff. They got you ranked 114. And I know for a fact, if a Bible was in front of me, I would put my right hand on it. I know for a fact you better than some players in them 113 spots above you. How many times do you look at those rankings? And don't tell me you don't pay attention to them because we all look at them. How many times do you look at them and say, they got him ranked above me and I'm better than him?
Yeah, nah, it pisses me off, honestly. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, I be looking at that sometimes. I'll be like, are you for real right now? But I take it on the chin and then I just keep working because honestly, I know I'm gonna have to play against him at some point, especially I knew I would have to do it going into this EYBL session or this EYBL AAU season. So what I tried to do was, take advantage of the time I had and just try to kill them and show like why they shouldn't be higher than me. This and the third, but it's respect for everybody that's out there. But I just felt like I had something to prove at that point, and I feel like I did a good job proving it.
Facts, bro. And I've been trying to tell people like you're arguably one of the best shooters in the whole country. Like I've been trying to tell people, like off the dribble, off the catch, like in every scenario. Like, do you think you're one of the best shooters? Like, if not the best?
I feel like, I can shoot the ball at a high clip.
Bro, because I've been to so many of your games, bro. Every single time you shoot the ball, I swear it goes in, bro. Every time.
Yeah, I mean, like that's one thing in my game that I knew I had to have in my bag is my shot. So my dad, that's one thing that we work on heavily. Like every time we go to the gym, from off the dribble to how I place it in my hands to the arc of the ball, everything. So I feel like every time I step on the court, I have to be the best shooter on the court because with my size and everything, there's something that I have to do that has to be great. You know what I mean? So I feel like shooting is one thing that I can showcase and, everybody, sees that in my game, that is something I got.
And I always tell people that, like, I think shooting is arguably one of the most important skills
to
have in basketball because you have the shooting ability. Everything else is really just a plus. And I feel like that's why a lot of colleges, coaches, like they can see that in you.
For sure. Nah, a lot of the college coaches were saying my efficiency is at a high clip for, for the amount of, comp I play against with the EYBL session. And also with the minutes that I was playing with, because wasn't playing too many minutes, but I was, my dad was just telling me like, make it hard for him to take you out. So I was just trying to do that every time I stepped on.
Now, hey, I told you I'm about to turn up. The hoop, what they call it, the hoop state.
The hoop state.
We talk about the point guards in the class of 2023 from the hoop state. Okay, we talking about you, Robert Dillingham, Aiden Holloway, London Johnson, Caleb Foster from there too, right?
Yeah, Caleb Foster.
I'm probably missing some names.
Yeah.
Now I want you to be honest.
Parker.
Who?
Tremaine Parker.
Oh
my gosh, the hoop state is crazy.
Where do you rank yourself among the point guards or the guards in general from North Carolina? Matter of fact, give me your top five.
Top five?
Your five in a specific order, man, from top to bottom.
Ooh,
your five top guards from North Carolina. I know you might not want to do it, but come on, man.
You got to, bro. You got to, man. You got to.
In a specific order? It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. Dang. It's me. All right, so hold on. Let me get all the guys. It's me. It's Rob, Biz, Caleb, Trey, London. And it's that six, right?
That's it.
You got Jalen Curry too.
Jalen Curry.
Oh, Jalen Curry. Damn.
Yeah, Jalen Curry. Why I forget about bro? Hey. All right. Cool. All right. Now let me ask this. As in like true PGs or like just play the guard position?
Just basketball in general. I'm not gonna say best passer because I know Rob is more like a scorer. Aiden is a shoot. You know what I'm saying? All you gotta do different things. So just from basketball in general.
For sure. I'll put Rob at one. I'm not gonna lie. Rob crazy. I'll put Biz right behind him at two because he just got combo moves like crazy and can finish over anybody. I'll probably put Caleb at three just because Caleb, with his body, he knows how to use his body real well and can shoot the ball at a high clip. Me at four. I'll put me behind Caleb. And then I'll put five. It's between Jalen and Trey. London from
North Carolina.
He is. I thought he was from Georgia or something.
I thought he was from Tennessee.
I swear he was growing up in North Carolina. Or am I tripping? We came because he was with Biz and them, chilling with Biz and them after.
He was. D, you put me in a tough spot.
Yeah,
man.
For the fifth spot, let's just call it a tie.
Fifth spot tie smooth. Like,
yeah, because like
both are tough though. Like, it's crazy. We all got different games, so that's why it's kind of hard to rank it. Like, Biz, Rob got they got kind of the similar game, but they do two different things well. Like, you know what I mean? They do different great. You got Caleb with a kind of Curry type game, but use his body good. Jalen just a dog. Like, he just trying to kill everybody. Trey just trying to embarrass everybody. Like, he want to make you look stupid. And then you got London. I think London is more of the. He got a different pace type game. Like, he's smart. You know what I mean? Like, he's smart with the ball in his hand. He's smart with, the overall game. Like, he just got a different type of feel. So we all got different games. That's why it's kind of hard to rank us.
Yeah, man, that guard class crazy.
It's crazy, especially in North Carolina. But I want to know though, who y'all think got the state with the toughest class? That's what I want to know. Who y'all think?
Me myself personally, I think right now is New Jersey as far as like
Jersey.
As far as like the older classes, like 23, 24. Now when we get to 25, I'm not sure. But like 23, I think undoubtedly they got it on Smash right now with 23, 24.
You know, like Texas don't exist, man. No Texas.
Texas
got hoopers, bro.
Texas got some hoopers. Texas got some hoopers.
Texas, California too. They're low key underrated.
I feel like though, honestly, about Texas, I feel like with the amount of players that they had, I feel like 22 was their top year. I'm not gonna lie, because 23 they got some dogs, but I feel like 22 they had more.
I agree.
I feel like they had more, but 23 they definitely got some players that can hoop. But 22 was their year for sure.
So you played for Team Charlotte, Under Armour.
Yep.
Last year, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Now, how would you compare the Under Armour circuit versus the Nike Peach Jam? I don't want to ruin no deals on her for you, but I know the Peach Jam is different. You know, just talk about the difference if you can, man.
And I'm gonna be real, it's a 9-day difference. Like, with the atmosphere, the amount of coaches, the amount of respect, you know what I mean, that you get from playing on an EYBL session and killing rather than the UA session and killing. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a different type of respect that you gain from that. Just because of the level of competition that's in there. And then you got, when it cuts down to like the Elite 8 games and getting close to the end of pool play, games start getting packed. Everybody want to watch who the next, you know what I mean? So I feel like it's a 9-day difference because college coaches know, like, this is where, all the comp is at. This is where the top players are at. So I feel like EYBL it's a 9-day difference over than UA.
Yeah, man. I mean, people always talk about what's the best circuit: Adidas, Nike, Under Armour. I think you go Nike, Adidas, then Under Armour.
Yeah, Adidas was live too. I seen that. Adidas was live too. They got some guys that's in there. They been had some guys that was in there too, but UA just fell off. Like, it's not too many guys that's in there. And not too many college coaches that really be in there, and that's from firsthand experience. Like, when I was there last year, it wasn't too many college coaches there. It wasn't too many people there other than the parents. So
that was like the main reason why you wanted to play in the Peach Jam?
Yeah, honestly, I wanted to play EYBL going into high school, but playing with Jeff, it's family over there. And I had respect for them, and I wanted to, build my game up also before I stepped in that fire, because there's some dogs in there. So, just building my game up there, and then, building my confidence up and everything, then jumping into EYBL, I feel like was my best move.
Yeah. See, I feel like you played with a lot of great players. Like, who is your favorite player to play with? And also, who do you think is the best player that you played with?
I'd say my favorite player and best. Well, favorite player I played with was probably Mike, cause on and off the court, me and him just had that's my dude. Like that's my bro for real. Like I know, like I said before, I know if I got, a problem or, if I need advice or anything, he's the one that's gonna shoot me the real, cause he been through, you know what I mean, everything that I'm going through and everything like that. So I feel like he was probably my favorite one to play with. Best, honestly, I don't know. I play with some dogs. Like Jalen Curry's a dog. I play with a lot of people, man.
I mean, even the whole Link Academy team, like all of y'all are.
We all was tough. Julian, I'm tripping. I don't know. Julian Phillips.
Oh yeah, he's so underrated. People do not give him credit.
Yeah.
Phillips. All right, Julian Phillips. He's right behind Mike being my favorite one, but he's probably the best one all around because he just has an all around game. Like, and he can shoot. He'll dunk on you. He defends. He's long, rebounds. Like, he has an all around game, and I feel like, he does everything that he does great. It's kind of hard to describe. Like in practice, he'll be killing everybody in practice. Even when he didn't feel like hooping for real, he would just kill you just to get it over with. Like it was like that type deal. Like he's real cool too. Like he's funny, everything. I feel like he was probably the best one I played with.
Yeah. So are you staying at Link Academy for your senior year, or are you gonna transfer?
I'm still looking into it right now, honestly, because with the coaching change, Coach Perry went to Kansas State. I'm happy for him. He was my AAU coach also with Mocan, so that was his last year coaching at Mocan before he went to Kansas State, and he went out with a bang. So honestly, we love what they do over there at Link. We're trying to figure out if they're going to do the same type of things, but it's the same athletic director, so I feel like they will. So it's definitely a possibility that I do.
Yeah, we gotta shout him out because like a lot of players that we were talking to, they were saying Mocan, y'all were the only team running plays, y'all had sets and all this. Like it was just different playing y'all.
Listen, we have defensive rules. We had a defensive rules test. And if you don't get 100 on it, you don't play the first game. Of AAU, like
what?
Crazy. Like Coach Perry, he's going to hold you accountable. Like, and that's one thing about him that he does great. Like he's going to hold you accountable from Jordan Walsh all the way down to the worst player. You feel me? Like he's going to hold everybody accountable with the same way because he knows you can do it. We probably had honestly 100-something plays. Like no joke. Sideline, out of bounds, baseline out of bounds, sideline plays, zone plays, man plays, like tip plays. Like we had probably like 100 plays off of his brain alone. Like his X's and O's are crazy.
Do you feel like, in this game of basketball, everything is based off height? We see somebody 6'5" walk in the gym, we automatically think they good. But then we see a player like you who's not as tall, and we kind of look past you. You got to show us more.
Right.
The person that's 6'6", we always say, oh, they got potential.
Right.
What I mean? Right. They got potential.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you get a fair shake being the stature that you are?
No, not at all. Not at all. Like I don't pass the eye test at all. Like even on some of these visits, people would be surprised I'm on visits. Like they just looking at me like, like you coming here type. Like yeah, dude. But honestly, that's what I like about it though. Like people don't really look at smaller guards too highly because of our height. They don't think we can do as much. But that's what makes us so special because certain of us have that dog in us that just want to prove it. You know what I mean? Like if we have that opportunity, like if people just gives us the opportunity, we gonna prove it. You feel me? Like that's all we need though.
Yeah, see, and I think there's like, a few undersized guards that, have that level like you. Like, you have Sharif Cooper and Tyler Ulis. Like only a few come around every so often. I feel like you're arguably probably the next guy in line, especially with the offers that you do have. Do you think like there's a ceiling as a player that size? Do you think you have like a cap?
As far as potential, yes. I feel like if you're not 6'6", potential runs out. It's all about producing at that point. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's about how can you help us win? How can you benefit us? And for a player that's not going to, for a guy that's not going to grow to be 6'6", potential runs out when you touch high school. Like, because you know what I mean? Your height runs out, everything like that. You're not as long. They can't use you the same way as they can use somebody that's 6'6". So unless you prove it and unless you produce, that's the only way you gain some respect and get that respect. So for smaller guards, we just got to go out and just prove it.
Yeah.
And that was a hell of an answer. Because anybody else you would have asked that question, they would have said, "Ain't no Scott, ain't no limit to me. I'm on, you know, they don't keep it real. They kind of unrealistic,
Yeah,
you know, with this."
I feel you, but yeah, I mean, like that's the facts though. Like they people can't look at us and say, "Oh yeah, he can do the same stuff that Julian Phillips can give us." You feel me? Like that's not facts. I can
Right.
give you a fast-paced game. I can give you, somebody that's gonna run your team. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna give you the length and you know what I mean that type of athleticism. I'm just not. But it's all good.
So can you see yourself, in the NBA one day? Do you see yourself playing overseas?
Mm-hmm. I feel like I see myself if I just keep going, keep producing, and keep showing people that I'm a winner, even at my size, and keep the dog mentality. I feel like I can be a pro. I feel like I will be a pro. Right now, I feel like I will be a pro, but I feel like if I just keep working and keep the dog mentality and just show people I'm a winner, even at the high level with my college choice, I feel like I can be in the NBA if I just keep working though.
Yeah, you just have to be. Your offense, in my opinion, has to be so good to where like it can kind of overlap the defensive liability. Like I think that's why guys like Trey Young are still in the league and Steph Curry because their offense is so good. So I think as an undersized guard, like that's kind of how you have to look at it in a way.
For sure. Like with us smaller guards, defense has to be, and that's what I realized this past year. Like Peace Jam, the EYBL session or the EYBL as a whole was my first time having a steal stat. Like I never had a steal stat. Almost averaged 2 steals a game. So it's like being a smaller guard, it real like being there at Link and what Mo Cannon showed me, like if you're going with your height, you have to defend. Like no matter what, you got to put pressure on the ball. You got to make somebody feel you. You know what I mean? Somebody has to pay attention to you at some point when you're on the defensive end. So defense has to be a major key, especially if you want to get to the NBA. That's major.
Yeah. So did you feel some type of way when like these other teams were game planning against you because the game is all about mismatches. So they're going to try to attack the mismatch. Like, did you feel some type of way about that?
I just felt like I was doing something right. You feel me? Especially coming off the bench. Those guys have to game plan and everything like that. But it helped me because it helped me see the game differently. Like, so the way somebody guards me or face guards me, I have to work to get open. You know what I mean? So it's like it's different ways and different assets of your game that you have to grow, and it can show up in a game. So how people defend me and game plan me, it helps me understand, get a better understanding for when I go to college, and if that happens, I'll be prepared for it because I've seen it before.
Yes. So like, what do you think is like the secret to like succeed as an undersized guard? Like, is there something in practice that your trainers do to be able to like see over the defense or make specific passes like overhead or bounce pass? Like, how did you kind of gain that like sort of level of IQ and be able to see the floor like you do?
Honestly, playing the game, I've always played up. Even younger, like I was in elementary, I was in like 4th grade playing against 7th and 8th graders. Like I've always played up. So just playing the game, like just constantly play. It don't even matter. Like go to the park, play pickup a few times, get some good runs in, and just play the game because that's how you get to feel the game. Like, there's you can get better with cones and on air, but with a defender in front of you, you have to really like understand and really like break down and everything like that. Like understand game time situations, understand certain situations, IQ. You know what I mean? Like all that develops when you're a small guard. All that has to be at a 10 because like your teammates. I learned this. I can't talk to some people the way I can talk to other people. Like with some people, they'll take things, more personal than others may. You know what I mean? Like my dad taught me because he played quarterback. a lot of times you can't talk like this. It's like this, palms down. Like calm your players down. Try to get them and get y'all on the same page. It's with the game being played. Emotions are high because we want to win. We're all competitors. So it's just, as the point guard and as a quarterback or whatever, as a leader, you got to learn how to adjust your tone and learn how to talk to certain players. So just being a good high IQ type of guard, that's what puts us over the top.
Yeah, go ahead, D-Rich.
Hey, first of all, I want to apologize for anybody listening. I'm in the trenches, unfortunately. So if you heard some sirens, you're gonna hear that. You're gonna hear that from time to time. That happens around here, man. I'm not bragging about it. It just happens. Now you gotta. Now, are you? I saw something on Jan Edits. Are you committing this weekend? Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, so
Saturday.
Okay, so I got the 6 schools right here. We got about 10 minutes left. I want really a breakdown, if you can, of each school. You ain't got to go deep in depth, but it's just a little bit about each one. You know what I mean? Sure. I know what the crystal ball is predicting, and usually they right. But we want to go through each school and just break down a little bit. For sure. LSU, more of a football school, but sometimes every once in a while they have a pretty good basketball program.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about them?
Honestly, I love the coaching staff that's going over there. With Coach Mack being at Murray State, Coach John Morant, they play real fast. You know what I mean? They like fast guards. I feel like I would fit in their program very good. They're recruiting me really heavy right now, showing a lot of love. I built a lot of relationships over there with those guys, and I'm still developing relationships with them. Great campus. And honestly, it's really the play style that they play with that they're bringing from Murray State that's really triggering a light for me because I feel like I can fit in that play style really well.
Now, what about Xavier, man? Xavier is one of those schools, it's not a big flashy program like a Kentucky or nothing like that. But I feel like they develop players pretty good here and there, man. You know what I mean? For a school of their stature. What can you tell me about Xavier?
Honestly, I love Coach Sean Miller coming from Arizona. He produced a lot of guards with Nico Mannion and those guys. So he likes to play fast. He loves to play fast. I feel like the Big East Conference is a great conference. You got UConn, Villanova, Creighton, all those guys in there. And I feel like it's a growing conference also that's striving. So just, developing a relationship with those guys and building and, the way he plays and likes his guards, I feel like it's they have a great chance.
Hey, man, I know y'all see him smiling after he was talking about Xavier.
Now with VCU, I'm not going to lie. Last time that was kind of relevant to me was when Shaka Smart was there. Then he went to Texas, got fired. And the Bones Highland kid, he can rap. He makes some pretty good music, and he's doing pretty good with Denver. And that's what I remember most recently because he went there, correct?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what can you tell us about VCU?
Coach Rose and Coach Byers over there, they love, fast guards that can play at a high pace, that can shoot the ball also. I love those guys over there. Built a great relationship with them. They developed a great relationship with my dad also. Constantly call my pops. And I feel like, the way they play and the way they like their guards, I feel like it's a great fit also. Like a great fit.
Okay. Now Miami, I'm not gonna lie, I did some research on Miami as far as I was a big U fan as far as football, and I heard that their facilities is garbage. I don't want you to say nothing about it, but I heard their facilities are terrible. That's what I heard. But what can you tell us about Miami?
Man, I love Coach Larinaga. Like, love him. Great guy. He's from up north. They love small guards, love fast guards with Chris Likes. And those guys over there, they love the way they play fast, can shoot the ball. I built a relationship with Coach Kimball also over there. He came from UNC Charlotte and now is at Miami. And like I said, I just love their coaching staff. I love the way they play. And the ACC is a great conference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now along with talking about the ACC, we got Virginia on here also. Which to me is probably like the standout. Is it the standout school on this list? They up and down. But what can you tell us about Virginia, man?
Virginia is a great school. I love Coach Tony Bennett. He loves his guards also. ACC is a great conference. He loves strategic guards. Like the way they recruited me, I can tell that's how they play. You know what I mean? It took them a few games and a few times to see me and really get a feel for me and how I play and everything like that to make sure I was a great fit. And once they broke it down to me, it was like, yeah, like, it's a great option for me. Coach Bennett is a great guy. Coach Orlando was the one that was recruiting me. He's a great guy. He's from around here also, so we have a good connection. So I feel like Virginia is a great option for me, especially being in the ACC. I get to play some of the big-time ACC schools.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Well, I was never in position myself to have these options, man. So I just want to say, man, no matter what decision you make, just keep working, man. Keep grinding. Because me myself, sometimes I sit down and I wish I could have got a Division I scholarship, man. I just didn't want it bad enough. I was scared to be great. I didn't have to work ethic like a player like you got, man. I could tell that you work hard, on a daily basis, man. Before we get out of here, man, we got a lot of kids that watch us and DM us.
Mm-hmm.
And right now they sitting down, they stretching, they drinking their water because they want a girl to be 6'6", but their mom 5'8" and their dad 5'10". It's not going to happen.
No.
So do you got any advice for players who are going to have a size problem? Do you have any advice for them, man? Because they want to be 6'6", but unfortunately everybody can't be that.
Use your disadvantage to your advantage. Me being a small guard, I know there's certain things that I can't do that a lot of guys with length can do. And being with my speed and with my height also, there's a lot of things that I can do that they can't do. So take the good with the bad. Never focus on the bad, though. Like, always feel like you have something to prove because you do. We don't have the same opportunities. We don't get the same leeways as a lot of taller guys do. Like I said, potential runs out when you're not 6'6". You know what I mean? So just continue to produce, always work, and kill. Like, take everybody's neck. Don't take anybody lightly.
Yeah, man. I feel like that, man. You're real mature for your age, man. Some of the answers you was giving, I could tell you've been around a lot of people that help mold you into the person that you are, man. For sure, you know what I mean? You always hit back. You got the blue check mark. A lot of people get that blue check mark. They start to move kind of different. You know what I mean? They like to let the messages marinate for a couple of days before they get back. But I want to appreciate you for getting on here with us, man. Like I said, Juice is really a big fan, man, and he really shined light on.
For real.
Yeah, we didn't have some arguments. He didn't say you better than some players that maybe I don't feel like you better than. But now I feel like, you better than some of them players we was talking about. So, man, I just want to congratulate you, man, on all the success. Juice, you got anything else that you want to say?
Man, just like he said, bro, just keep going, man. Like we said, I've been peeping. I've been trying to put people on, bro. Like you can see, man. But whatever college decision you make, bro, like, congratulations on that and just keep working.
Appreciate it, my boy. Appreciate it. I appreciate y'all for this.
I appreciate it, man. And man, I definitely appreciate you, man. And I'll be tuned in this weekend. How you gonna do it? IG Live, possibly, or?
So I'm talking with some guys right now. We're thinking about doing an IG Live. I'm probably gonna have a couple people over here, and that's probably how I'm gonna announce it.
Okay, that's best, man. Keep it circle tight.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like I said, I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna be hitting you up. We'll be posting it, so I'll stay in contact for sure.
Bet. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for this. This was fun.
Yep, no problem, man. Appreciate you.
All right.
Yep.